Hi, everybody. Oh, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, guys. I told you guys this was going to be an interesting day, and I think that it was and is still for all of the right reasons. I feel like a sense of calm after this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Part 3 reunion recap. We're going to explain why. Also, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but one of Jason and I's friends, Madison LaCroix, just did a TikTok on it. She just announced that she is pregnant. So congratulations to Madison. And also, on top of that, we just announced our first winner for our Rose Forever collaboration with our CBD company, The Blow Company, and that is Sherry Vandenberg. So congratulations to Sherry. We have 2 more bouquets that we're going to be giving away. All you have to do is go to The Blow Company, purchase anything, use code ROSE for 20% off, and that enters you to win. So Sherry Vandenberg, congratulations. Let me know which bouquet you'd like. Go pick any one. Doesn't matter how big, how small, and we will make sure that it's sent to you immediately. With that, guys, let's welcome one of our good friends to the channel, Ashley from Taste of Reality. We love her. They're absolutely always killing it. And I didn't even see their live discussion last night for Salt Lake City, I think because I was sitting on the edge of my seat, but let's see what she has to say. Hello.
Greetings. How are you?
Good.
You made it. Hi, Adam's family. Good morning.
I mean,
for some of you,
it's over, you know?
it's done. Great season. Ended on a high note, and you are off the hook, my friend.
We're off the hook, and it's just like we can go back to honestly, you know who I called after last night?
I hope you say Whitney.
No. I texted
who?
Whitney. I called Monica.
Oh, fun. What'd Monica say?
I called Monica because Monica was through this whole thing with me. I was communicating with her, and the whole time she was giving me advice. I was talking to some of the other housewives, and I had so many people who were like, just completely annihilate her, release the text messages, do this. And last night I said to Monica, I said, I feel like I learned something after watching this season and being on the edge of my seat for 5-6 months, because it started in September. What I feel like I learned was, not to get myself involved. And Monica gave me some credit, which I really appreciated, but I wasn't expecting. And she was like, actually, Adam, like, I give you a lot of props because everybody wanted you to just drop everything, like the receipts and stuff, but you felt like that would make you, it would be forever like a stain on your reputation, because now I will be known as the person who you cannot communicate with without knowing that it's going to go public. And it was a really like a balance, And now that I went through the whole season and I listened to everything, because I was waiting for that aha moment where I was like, oh, here we go. I feel like I can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I feel you. And yes, breathe. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. I really hope. It's funny at the very end, like as soon as Whitney and I'm jumping so far ahead, but as soon as Whitney and Lisa were like, we're going to burn it. And then both of them were like, unless you say something about my marriage, then I'm reigniting it. Unless you call me a liar, then I'm reigniting it. So like, is it over? No. Is it ever over? No. But let's hope it's put to bed.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Guys, in the live chat, let us know 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what you thought about the Salt Lake City reunion part 3, and also where you're watching from. Ashley, did you think that this reunion needed 3 parts?
It's interesting you asked that. Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously you don't if you ask the question or there's some sort of fodder around it.
No. That's not true. I was kind of thinking, I'm like, because sometimes people think it's like really dragged out, and I didn't know if that was your opinion.
Oh, No, I don't. No, I thought it was necessary. And we actually have closure, especially after going from New York, which New York going into the reunion felt like it could have been an email. However, the New York reunion actually ended up better than most of the season. With that said, we watched New York literally 2 days ago, and there is no resolution. There is no moving forward, in my opinion, with that cast. Fast
Yeah.
forward to Wednesday night, literally the next night, and we have a beautiful ending to a dramatic season that was quirky. It was fun. It had real drama on top of all the pigeoning, which I don't need. But then we had resolution and an open invitation. The doors are open for another season, and I loved it.
You know, by the way, too, I wanted to add to this. I saw this. Carol Ann said, "Do you think that they will bring back Jen when she gets out of the big house?" So I had this conversation last night with another housewife. This one was not Monica, you guys. Like, trust me, if you sit here and you like go through this phone with me, like we sit here and we just, it's like housewives calls all night. It's like a girl sleepover over here
Yeah,
on the.
that's funny.
And Jason's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "I'm talking to so and so. Leave me alone." But I saw so much pushback, and I don't know if you got this on the live discussion on tasteofreality.com for the Salt Lake City, last night's episode, but what side of the pendulum were you on, the way that it swings when it came to the Monica Jen Shah conversation? Because what Meredith was saying is, well, she's doing her time. She's paying her restitution. What are we supposed to just like shit on her forever? And what Whitney was saying was, I reached out to Monica, and Meredith was like, yeah, but you reached out to her to dig dirt up on us. That's different,
Right.
Where were you at in that?
I think we have space for both things.
Okay.
Jen Shah did something horrible to so many people that technically, like, it could affect generations. When you steal that much money and you affect people's finances like that, that could be a generationally affected move that she made. She is in prison. She's doing her time. I'm a firm believer, like, our justice system is to do exactly that. I mean, I could go into a whole spiel about the prison system. Like, I really wish there was reform in the system to where you could come out and, be situated and be set up to do better. With that said, part of Jen Shah's time is paying the victims back. She's not doing that from prison.
Right.
But they're allowed to feel how they feel about the way that, and comparing Monica and Jen is ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. Yes, Monica affected you horribly. It affected the way you move forward with friendships. I think we saw that this season, but it's not the same. They are not the same.
See, and I also think that that's a load of like, not what you're saying, but I think it's a load of BS. A lot of the things that were said last night, because I'm sitting here watching and they're like, well, Monica has affected us because she had Reality Von Teese. That was specifically, for the most part, aside from a couple posts, and I'm not giving her grace on those other posts, but specifically targeted towards the Shaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at it and I'm like, I just got another person who confirmed another one of the cast members had a burner account. A little like Finsta. And I'm like, okay, wow, look, here we go again. No, keep it away from me. You guys can do next season. I want nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But then last night when Andy Cohen was saying, like, well, she like Jen Shah lied. She's proven to be a liar. And Meredith, why would you want to talk to her? She's a liar. And I'm looking and you see Heather Gay's face and she's like very like quiet. And I'm like, Andy, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We've caught, I mean, how many lies was Brittany caught in last night? Like, and let's be honest, who's not lied in their life? If you say it's you, you're a liar. I'm calling you out right now. We have all lied. We have all fabricated the truth. We have all done those things. So I think I'm not an active liar, but I would be lying if I said I didn't fabricate things from time to time. Like,
well, it's like I sit there and I look and I'm like, how Whitney lied on me this season, which is fine, but then also how she lied on Meredith about the jazz tickets and how Meredith explained that was also a lie. And then I look at Heather Gay and that was a lie. And I look at Bronwyn lying about the jewelry and that was a lie. And I listen to what Mary Cosby said about a few things with her congregation, and I can pinpoint a couple of lies from that. And then I also go over to Brittany Bateman and some of the things that she admitted last night that she lied about. And then you look at Lisa Barlow and you see just it's what you said is very true. You can go down the line and pinpoint, especially when your life is under a microscope and we're watching, you're going to get caught in something. That's kind of just how it goes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And lying about something stupid, why I was late meeting you for coffee, you know, like, that's not the same as lying about something that could affect somebody's business, affect somebody's marriage. Like, those are totally different things. Like, this is a huge spectrum of a conversation. Like, I don't want to make it oversimplified, but to say that Monica is a liar and not go down the list, like, we could literally like do one of those like prison lineups and literally go through charges.
I mean, well, and then this is the next thing that I have to ask you. What did you think about Brittany blaming Bronwyn for her children not talking to her for 3 months? Like, that threw me off. I was like, what?
Brittany, girl.
If they already weren't talking to you, and now you're saying, well, but the extra 3 months, that's because of her. I'm like, no, you can't.
No. And then thank you, production, for calling her out. Andy started it. Andy said, hey, that's not what you said on your audition tape. And then producers came in with proof, receipts, timeline, screenshots, and we live for it. No, you know what? As bad as the first two parts of the reunion were for Bronwyn being caught in lies, Bronwyn left this reunion part looking squeaky clean, and Brittany should have walked out with a dunce cap on. I
mean,
like a dunce cap. Dunce. That's a very old reference, but if you know what a dunce cap is, a dunce cap, like back in the old days, like in the 50s, they would send naughty kids to the corner in a classroom with this dunce cap, and it like ostracized them to like make them like shame them for being naughty.
I always had to just go sit in the corner and face the corner for whatever my age was. And like, if I was 11, I would have to sit in it for 11 minutes. If I was 12, it would be 12 minutes, but I never had to wear the dunce cap. But oy, yes.
Yeah, no, that was like back in the like days of shaming. But then like, can we just mention real quick how hilarious like the pick me in Brittany is, to where like once she was off stage and the camera, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the editors for putting that in. She's like, I really should be out there for this.
Did you see her video going on where she posted a video where she was going behind the scenes to see the soundstage?
No, I don't think I don't know. I don't remember that.
Let me see if I can't find it, but she was going behind the scenes and she's like, guys, I'm sick of being stuck in this room. Like, I feel like I need to be out there right now. And they were like, we need you to stay in the room. And she was like, no, I don't think that I should stay in the room. Here it is right here. Ready? Yeah. Watch this. Tell me this is not, it is the epitome of the pick me situation, which, by the way, this is not a Brittany Bateman roast. She is so quirky.
She's that I think TV.
I think that she's great TV.
No.
And I'm supposed to stay in my dressing room like a good little girl. Am I going to? No.
Okay, her face is stunning.
Onto the sound stage. I'm waiting all day. Come on, you guys. What about me? Okay, follow me.
What about me? Ah!
I hear noises.
Not the super spy music.
Uh-oh, I just got busted. Look. I don't know where I'm going. No, I'm gonna sneak on. This is a stunt. Is it up or down? Okay. Studio B. Here we go.
See, I love this. I'm sorry, I love this.
Okay, you didn't. Thank you. You didn't see me.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is so exciting. Everyone's yelling. I don't know what's going on. Wait. This isn't right. This isn't even it. I'm lost. I'm looking for the sound stage. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's through there. Dun, dun,
Hey, why is she
dun,
wearing
dun,
the heart of
dun,
the ocean around her
dun,
neck?
dun, 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 dun,
And look how weird this is.
dun, dun. Shh. Here we
Care
go.
Bears, I'm going to talk about that.
This is
Yeah.
it. This is it. Look. Hi, Brittany. I'm not here.
Okay, bye.
Yeah? I think I just got busted.
I'm sorry. I love her. I love her. You can't make me hate her, even after getting caught in all those lies. But you know what? And Care Bear said this, and she made a great point in the comments while you were showing that. Here, Brittany is recording herself again. She sure does know how to use that camera. And again, editing earned their check. Brittany doubled down on that lie. She was like, it was like 2 seconds. And then Andy had to say, no, let me back that statement up. Brittany blamed it on editing, which is insane. And then Andy said, you can't extend a video in editing, Brittany. Like, she really tried to double down on it. And then she posts that video where she's very proficient at filming.
You know what's so funny too with watching it? It's kind of like one of those things that I said this on a TikTok yesterday. I forgot who I compared. Oh, Craig Conover. Craig Conover with the situation and lying in that interview clip that everyone's talking about while they were actually not still together. But I said, guys, he went on Southern Charm and said, I am the best liar, you know? And like Jax Taylor goes on and says, I am a villain. I am an asshole. You know, like if they're telling you, you can't really get mad at them because that's who they are. And that's why they're making good TV. It's just sort of, you don't have to agree with what kind of person they are. But for Brittany, I'm like, she is letting us know I am quirky and all over the place and a little wild and a pick me girl, but she owns it. She just is that.
She is who she is and she doesn't hide it. And I appreciate that.
I can't even get mad at her about it. I mean, I'm like, again, watching it, I'm like, oh, what?
I think she's hilarious to watch. That video was hilarious to watch. Even after her getting eaten alive on that reunion. Like, she looked so bad.
What did you think about Jared Osman's text or message to Bronwyn?
Pardon me while I barf. That was disgusting. I'm so glad Brittany was like, yeah, that's unacceptable. Like, finally, because she will defend that man whether they're together or not. And it was disgusting and shame on him.
So now I want to bring a little balance to this conversation and just kind of pick your brain on it because I love to play devil's advocate. Did you find anything disgusting about the way that Todd operated on camera in the relationship with Bronwyn? Or at least, like, was there anything that, like, took you back? Like, okay, well, you are her husband. You're not her dad.
Okay.
You know, like,
there was one time I feel like they know their role in their marriage. And how you and your partner are in your marriage, as long as it's consensual on both parts, it's really either way, it's none of my business. So as long as they're on whatever their dynamic is, as long as they're on the same page, it doesn't bother me. But there was one time, and I don't remember the context, but Bronwyn said that how he talked to her hurt her. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, I don't like that.
yeah.
Because they're not on the same page and it's not consensual at that point because he hurt her.
Yeah. And I think that, of course, they're definitely two totally different situations. I think that you being in that relationship, sometimes if you don't feel good about the way that your partner is treating you or talking to you, I think that that's all about communication. Whereas
Mhm.
Jared Osman is not in a relationship with Brittany. So to sit there and message her and say, I could tell you a bunch of things that you don't want to hear about your body parts. I was like, no,
Ew.
no.
You see, he's the one who goes there. If you go back, like he's not active. I sound like a stalker, but I mean, I write about him on tasteofreality.com. So like I am looking through his x.com, whatever. And
Yeah.
he doesn't post a lot, but if you check like the replies and whatnot, somebody will say something, like somebody will criticize him or Brittany, but then the way he goes in at people is just like, it's, if that's how comfortable you are on a platform that your name is associated with, I wonder what it looks like behind the scenes.
Right. And also, he had to know like this is going to come out, but you know what? He kind of screams to me, and
What's that?
I have a really hard time with this, and I'm not going to name him. But like
Name
I
them.
no, I can't.
Name them.
This is somebody who is not a part of any of this, but I grew up with somebody, and I grew up right outside of the rich neighborhood
Mhm.
where I lived, and we lived in like, you know, normal, whatever. And there was this one specific community where they had airstrips and all kinds of things. And my best friend lived in that community, and everything had to be his way. If he didn't get his way, he threw tantrums. I remember watching him hit his mom, do all of these things. And I remember thinking like, I used to be like, no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. May I please have, like that? And we were just two totally different people. And when I see Jared Osman with these temper tantrums, I think that there is a place for everything. And I think sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles. And
Mhm.
I see him and I'm like, maybe it's the Osman name, but you totally come off as somebody who is very used to getting your way. You get what you want. And if you don't, you act out like a petulant child, you know?
Like, I mean, it was a bad day for Nepo babies in the Bravo TV world between Jared Osmond and then we saw what happened with Marcus Jordan and the pasta and the resisting arrest. Like
The
the
video?
privilege, the entitlement, the fact that they think they are above the law. I'm over that nonsense. Like these people need a reality check. Taste of reality check here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like watching it, I'm like, even with the Marcus Jordan thing, it's like, I'm Marcus Jordan. Michael Jordan is my father. Great. You still put your car on a railroad track. You're still not listening to the police. You still smell like alcohol. There's still substances that,
Yeah, you still are in possession of narcotics.
right? And it's like, well, I am Marcus Jordan. No, that doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
Like, that doesn't make you above the law. Like, great. What talent do you have? We know who
Right,
Michael Jordan is. We know what he's done. But even still, if he would have been in that car and he would have been in that situation, guess who would have went to jail? Michael Jordan.
right.
You know?
Yeah, no, the whole thing pisses me oh, I'm sorry, ticks me off. Like,
No, you can say
yeah,
pisses you off. But it's
pisses
true.
me off.
It's like the Nepo baby. It really is like a huge entitlement that comes with being associated with some of these names. It's something that I will never understand. I never get how people react, respond, or treat people the way that I see some of these people
Right,
operate, because I'm like, I just couldn't even fathom being that way.
right. You don't do anything. You don't contribute anything.
Like
Like,
you were
there's no
born
art,
into,
there's no skill, there's no creative, like, you don't build anything, you're not the entitlement for literally being somebody's child is insane. Like, I don't wanna yeah. That
no,
I'm
but it is true. Like to piggyback off of that, it's like, okay, so you were born into this incredibly blessed life that so many people wish that they would have been born into, because it would have made their lives so much easier. And that's why you get to do things?
right. And please
No.
take Michael Jordan's good name out of your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Somebody said, Adam, we want hair. It's right here,
I love
guys.
your high volume hair. Oh, and did you see I flagged it?
High
Hold
body
on.
count.
Let me see exactly what it was. I don't want to misspeak, but speaking of high body count hair, I'm just looking on Instagram. It was yesterday. Angie K has high body count hair merch. And all I have to say is go off, girl. I'm living for high body count hair merch. And somebody, people have like the most interesting tone on social media. So many people on TikTok are like, girl, unique hair sauce, thermique or whatever. And people are like so shady. But then people are like, girl, I do hair. I use this product. It would like benefit. I'm curly too. And like, I just got some really good references for some Kerastase products that aren't for heat treated hair. And I'm going to use them. So thank you to the nice TikTokers who are helping and not trolling.
It was also funny to me too, by the way. I was looking at some of the comments about the Whitney Rose Vindicated article that you guys put on Taste of Reality.
Yes.
And I saw one of the comments that said, and the taste buds I get now more so than ever what you mean. Like, if you're gonna get in there, you got to get a little shady, but that's also the Addams family. Like, that's
Right.
that's what we all do, and hopefully within reason, and we're not like attacking people's families and stuff. But I saw where it's like, how is Whitney gonna get her jewelry line from Alibaba now without the tariffs or with the tariffs or something like that? And I was like, and I read it to Jason, and Jason said savage. And I
It's
said,
so funny. The thing is, I'm sorry. This is not a political statement. He doesn't go there. I'm not going there. That is not what that is. That's funny. Saying that Whitney, who was rumored, and she has said it's not true. So it's not true. Her jewelry is not from Alibaba. But the joke is, how is she going to get it with the tariffs? I'm sorry, that's funny. And somebody else, and this was mean. Did you see the comment that they made about Teresa Giudice's lipstick line?
no.
They said, who did she collaborate with? Sherman Williams?
Okay, taste buds. I need to get a little bit more active in your group chat because you guys are. This is savage.
It's
savage. AF.
It's funny. The thing is, it's funny, and yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it. Funny is funny.
So now, on top of that, what were your thoughts about Brittany and Angie K showing up with the exact same dress?
First of all, it's a gorgeous dress. Second of all, was it the same dress, same designer, or was Brittany's like a different designer that looked almost the same? Because somebody, and it could have just been different light, said that Brittany's was the Temu version.
I
forget
saw that.
I forget who designed Lisa's, and it was very different photography. Or not Lisa's, Angie's. Angie's dress was gorgeous. The cuts, but we saw more of it. Mind you, we saw more of it than just a quick like cell phone snapshot. It maybe Gucci, like the fabric was stunning. Like from afar, the fabric was a beautiful color and everything, but when you really got on it, like it was a beautifully constructed dress. Brittany did the right thing. She went to a plan B, and guess what? Thank you, Oscar de la Renta. It was stunning. Brittany looked beautiful. It actually might have been one of the most beautiful times Brittany's ever looked. She didn't need the dress to look beautiful. Neither did Angie. She's stunning too. But yeah, Brittany's plan B dress is gorgeous.
No, she did. She looked like $1 million last night.
The mermaid hair. I mean,
she was stunning.
Stunning. Her makeup, like her face is beat AF. Like she looks good.
You know what was wild? Was even watching the casting tape. I was looking at her and I was like, you look like two totally different people. It's the housewife glow up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm on TV now, so everything has to be like.
Everybody's skinnier season 2. Everybody, I mean, they're specifically most recently, like there was a glow up or a transformation on New York Housewife reboot, and we were all just like, oh my God, the second season does it.
Yeah, it always does it. The first season they come on and they're like,
and they look so much thinner. It's funny because my husband plays guitar and he's been playing on camera more. And he's like, Ashley, you have a lot less wrinkles than me. And I'm like, yeah, because of all the witch oil I use. He calls it witch oil. And he's like, now that he's on camera, I'm like, here, when I'm doing my skincare, I'm like, here, let me throw a little bit on you. Like things change. When you see yourself on camera, it changes things. And my husband is not that guy.
Yeah. Funny enough, it's the same thing. Like even with me, like Jason will be the first person and it's never negative or anything like that. But Jason's like, well, what are you putting under your eyes right now? What are you doing for the sides? Like, what are you doing that's preventative? And he'll sit there and we'll walk through like his night regimen and I'll copy it and then I'll forget it because this guy has like 11 different things that he does. And I always, honestly, I just put on number 7 and I use my little blue mean thing over here. And I just like at night do the thing and I put on the whatever and I'm like, I'm good. It has a little bit of retinol in it and I call it a day. But these housewives do a full glow up. You see some of them and it's like, oh, you got new teeth. Oh, did you get a facelift? Did you get that? Like, what happened?
Right.
You know?
It's boobs, it's butts, it's lipo, it's lips, it's filler, it's Botox, it's hair extensions, it's everything.
It's all of it. Speaking of which, going back to the Meredith conversation with Jen Shaw, I just want to hear your prediction right now. Because I thought about you this morning. I'm going to give you some context on this. My dad said, I'm watching the Super Bowl this weekend. If these things, he said, I saw an article that came out and it had predictions about the Super Bowl that the Chiefs were going to win, that Travis Kelce was going to propose to Taylor, and that Patrick Mahomes was going to be the MVP, and that Travis Kelce is going to have the last touchdown of the game. And he's like, if that comes true, then I feel like this is all orchestrated. And I was like, oh, okay. And those are predictions. But with that, I was like, speaking of predictions, I wonder what Ashley thinks. Like, does she predict that when Jen Shaw comes out of prison, that she is going to be reintegrated into the group and that she will be back on the show as like this, like, bam.
Okay. I'm going to just say quickly that I am going to just default that a prediction and a conspiracy theory are not the same.
Okay.
So I'm not going to engage in the conspiracy theory. Like Travis Kelce was supposed to like propose to the last Super Bowl. Like this is insane. Like people like literally need to like put their head on straight and start thinking reasonably.
That's so fair. That's fair. Sorry.
No, and if I'm saying that, if that was your dad, like I'm really not saying that to be disrespectful.
No.
I'm saying that like in a general statement. Like we've got to stop with these conspiracy theories. You're not cute. You're not interesting. It's dangerous. But I will predict what I'm thinking as far as Jen Shaw, because this is something that is reasonable, that I am educated on, because I have followed this case very closely and have written about it. I think, well, especially since Meredith has gotten the call from Jen could come back. And I think Meredith was, in my opinion, Meredith made good points about her leaving jail, a free woman who served her time. And whether or not you agree with how much time she deserves, the court system is the court system, and they determine how much time you serve. And if you think she's getting out too early, you're allowed to have that opinion, but it really doesn't matter.
Right. And also, I kind of, no matter what, thought that she would rejoin the franchise anyways, because I think that one, the network will be able to justify her coming out after serving her time, but two, this is a much quicker way to pay off the restitution that's owed, because it's the fastest paycheck that you can get. And as long as the series is the same series, they are going to pick up on the pay scale that they left off. They're not going to treat her like a new housewife.
Wow.
So she will get, you don't get paid like a new housewife.
Those other housewives are going to be bitter.
Well, no, they'll be making 2-3 seasons more of like money.
Oh, so you're saying Jen will go, okay, no, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying.
So like if this would be her, let's say this is her 4th season.
I got you.
She'll get paid the 4th season pay while they're getting paid like 7 season pay.
Sure, yes.
Yeah. But, I kind of thought, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And to be fair, this might not be a popular opinion for a lot of people. And guys, I'm sorry. I'm just, I think giving her the platform to come back on, if that does help pay the restitution, that puts the money back in the pockets of so many people who lost a lot. It's one of those weird things. You have to kind of pick your battle here. Like, are we more mad that we're putting her on this platform again and we're giving her a platform, or are we, like more excited that these people will get the money back that they should have never lost in the first place? Like it's right. It's weird. It's like
There's so much. Okay. And like, for instance, I'm a Dancing with the Stars girly, as you know, and this last season they cast Anna Delvey, who was famously a fraudster. She went to prison. It's a very complicated story because she's not American. I am not looking to engage in this conversation. This is not a political conversation. What I'm saying is people had a problem with Anna Delvey being on the show, but that's not Anna Delvey's fault. Anna Delvey took an opportunity that a lot of people would take. I think the problem was, I think people's blame was misplaced. If you have a problem, I think your problem's with casting for putting that controversial person on the show because they know it's going to get ratings. Anna Delvey, I think, did what anybody else would do. If you're giving an opportunity, you're going to take it.
And I know that this is totally something different too, but I think that like since we're putting it and we're using comparisons, I think that, you know, a lot of people turned Gypsy Rose into a celebrity and she got a show and she was making money from it. And that's where I think that the bar is completely different based off of network, streaming service, who the person is, and who is making the decisions at the round table. Like,
well, people love true crime. We're in a true crime age, and it's true crime mixed with reality TV, specifically Gypsy Rose, because there was a literal ending of a life.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's like a society thing. Like society has put her in a place where people get clicks and people get views, and that's how we're here.
I have another question for you. And I think that this is based off of total speculation. I don't think that any of us know this. What are your thoughts about Lisa Barlow saying that she is the richest one on the cast? Do you believe that?
First of all, who cares?
Okay.
First, like that says so much about Lisa Barlow. You know, I had a really, really bad night with Lisa. Lisa left this reunion on the bottom for me. Like she left last place. I thought she had a terrible episode last night, top to bottom. Terrible. I just got a little excited. I have a list of Lisa problems that I have. What were we just talking about? I'm sorry.
No, I
actually have a list.
Oh, Jesus.
Not all of Lisa, but I do have notes.
I was going to ask you, you know, like her saying like, I'm richer than all of you. Like, I don't need this. I can be fired tomorrow and I'll be fine. I'm richer. I'm responsible for putting this entire cast together. I have more money than all of you.
Sit down, take a seat, take a deep breath, and realize what you have and appreciate it. And she is not responsible for anybody else's future, anybody else's life, except for the people that she birthed.
Yeah.
She birthed two humans. She is responsible for their success. Well, not even their success, but their presence. Like their presence has nothing to do with you.
And I did agree with Heather Gay last night when Whitney got up and tried to have that moment with Lisa Barlow. I agreed with Heather when she was like, guys, you were so close. You were almost there. And like it sort of still dissolved a little bit. I've had this conversation with Monica, you know, like Monica, when she was on the reunion that season, she was not apologizing or caving into any of these women. And then I saw, and I was like, okay. And I think that played into a part of her not coming back. But then I saw Bryn Whitfield where Uba was like, Bryn, like they still love you. Like it's okay to admit that you're wrong. You know what I mean? It's okay to say like, man, I effed up. And I think that last night with Whitney and Lisa, you know, like it goes back to the picking and choosing of your battles. But I looked at Lisa like, no, you've lied on me so much that even still, like right now, like, I don't want to hug you. I don't want to embrace you. And I'm not doing this for the cameras. And I was like, wow, that's a stance.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Even if it's not in a like cute little package with a bow on the end, I don't need it to be. That's where they are. That's honest. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So I know you have notes.
I do. I was really disappointed in Lisa yesterday. The whole not taking accountability thing, like she will not take accountability. And as somebody who's always been a cheerleader for Lisa, like I really enjoy her on TV. I do not have the energy, time, nor desire to go and do a 5-season rewatch of Salt Lake City. So I would like to ask, this is not being shady, I really would like to ask Lisa to just make a list, a scroll perhaps, of times that she's taken accountability on the show. And I would like to read it, and I'll like literally check myself. I can't think of any times.
So you feel like she gets accused of things or she faces things and she is definitely not our accountability queen.
No. And then she cries. Like this, her first instinct, like she looked like she was about to cry before conversations even started about her. Like, I just feel like she just cries to get out of being caught for her behaviors and for being called out. Bronwyn called her out. She was like, but you, and then Lisa turns the thing. She won't take accountability for herself, but she'll turn it on somebody else. Bronwyn said something to her and she goes, but Bronwyn, you did the same thing. When have you ever stuck up for me? And Bronwyn goes, well, I said it and it was even on camera that, hey, I've never had this experience with Lisa before. Like, and then the producers blocked it. They rolled the tape. So, like, again, not being shady, I don't have the energy to watch all these seasons and take notes. Lisa lived it. Like, write it down and share it, because I really would like to take this back.
Well, and Stephanie said she could have been trafficked. What are you talking about, victim?
Yeah, I'm so sorry for this victim shaming of somebody who could have been trafficked. I'm talking to those of you born in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We know we could have all been trafficked. We did not have cell phones. There were no pagers. Our parents had no idea where we were. We went out on our bikes. People they didn't know where we were until the street lights went down and we went home to dinner. So we could have all been trafficked. And I was so glad that the Bravo editors like clocked everybody's faces when she said that, because that's like making light of trafficking is not cute, Lisa.
Yeah. And also in defense of Brittany on this, like, even though the women did not think it was a big deal, Heather Gay, actually, I have to applaud her, because I think Heather Gay made me understand more of why it was a big deal for Brittany to share that she was in a physical relationship with Jared Osman and what that means to her and her religion specifically, and how that affects her. Because I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this actually does, like, this is a big deal. But at the end of the day, she said, I wanted to use this, even though I don't believe what she was saying about the recording and not knowing that she was recording or whatever, not recording. She was like, I wanted to use this to show you guys I'm vulnerable and I'm being honest with you. And I actually appreciated what she was saying.
Yeah, no, I do too. While we're talking of Brittany, can I pivot just a little bit? Because I haven't heard anybody talking about this. And I'm saying this as a Mary Cosby lover. And I think we learned so much about people, but we need to learn how to move forward in the best, healthiest way possible. We saw the best conversation between her and Angie and their friendship, and they declared that they loved each other. Brittany had walked away. She was very upset. She felt ganged up on. And in that moment in time, Angie got up to comfort her. I see Angie. She's not friends with Brittany. She wasn't going there to reach out and like BFF with her. They're not braiding each other's hair on the weekends. She wanted to make sure she was okay. She was checking on another human being's mental health. And this could be a big problem. She just literally wanted to be a human showing support for another human being. Now, we know where Mary is coming from. She feels abandoned, and I am validating every single thing Mary said because it is true, it is honest, and she has every right to feel the way she does. I hope moving forward, if there's ever a situation where Angie needs to get up and go help somebody that maybe Mary doesn't like, I hope that they can signal to each other like a look like, Mary, I love you. I will be right back. I need to go do this for another human being, but that does not change this between us. I hope we can go there because Brittany needed Angie in that moment. And again, I love Mary and she's entitled to every feeling she has, but I hope that she and Angie can find a place in their relationship to where Angie can provide that friendship to somebody if they need that. Not even friendship, just human support. And Mary knows that it has nothing to do with their friendship and her loyalty.
I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in this too, because I feel like for Angie, I definitely want to applaud her because I agree with what you're saying. I think that Brittany Bateman goes from 0 to 150 back down to 0 really quick. And I think that somebody who has the ability to do that, sometimes they can be going through a lot. I always joke and I'm like, I go through 7 personalities a day. Like, try being my husband, and like,
I'm Sybil, 100%. I'm a psychopath.
I mean, like, I joke about it, but it's actually true. Like, I put this guy through the ringer sometimes, and watching, I'm like, no, I agree. I think that Angie was trying to be a good friend. I don't think that was for camera time. And also, to be fair, she doesn't know if that's going to make it on camera or not. But for Mary last night, I had a great conversation with her at that party, right? I thought that we did really, really good in our conversation. But listening to her last night where she was like, that made me mad. I'm like, you don't get to be a friend who does that. That's not a friend. You don't get to dictate to your other friends. That is one isolated relationship. It is not under an umbrella. That is your isolated relationship with said person. And if that doesn't fit for you and fit for what you're looking for in your life, then let it go. Otherwise, you don't get to dictate to them what they do. You don't get to tell them how they maneuver. You don't get to tell them who to be friends with. She is also a grown-ass woman. And even when Mary said the thing about Jen Shaw, about like, I knew she was guilty and this and that, I'm like, Mary, do you remember the audio clips that came out about you screaming at the congregation for not giving you birthday presents and telling them that they can get out of the church, and like how horrible they were? Like, those audio clips came out too. Mm-hmm. And they weren't very favorable for Mary. So it's like, maybe just kind of check yourself a little bit.
Right. Well, and I see people in the comments, and I think everybody's totally valid on this, that Brittany was looking for a moment and Angie gave it to her. And yeah, you know what? In retrospect, you're right. Like, she was absolutely looking for a moment, but in that moment, I don't think that those women knew that. And I really think that in that moment, Angie just saw her and was like, wow, this could be really bad. Do we want long-term effects from this? Like, do we want this woman like possibly like doing something that could hurt? Like, I think that they realized Brittany is maybe I don't want to say unbalanced, because I'm not a doctor, but she doesn't maybe always make the most emotionally intelligent statements.
I think that she puts them on pause when she walks in because they don't know which way she is going to be. And I think that can be diagnosed by a professional, and somebody else can say, oh, this is normal and this is how this person is, or maybe there's a term for it. But I agree with what you're saying. I think that, listen, it's like, you really are like, I've actually grown to love her this season because you really are kooky and quirky and you're all over the place and you kind of do what you want, and you add something sort of refreshing in a way of being like, it's so innocent, but it's like, a lot of it is silly. And then I was also looking at the last night when, Whitney was apologizing to Lisa about bringing up the rumor for the burn thing. And I think that Heather Gay is masterful with her words and her explanations. And she's like, well, this was supposed to be a therapeutic, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same thing that Lisa Rinna used to do when she would sit there in Beverly Hills and be like, guys, what do you think? Let's play a game. Okay.
I'm so sick of the games. Like, come on.
It's like, let's play a game. Who here do you think we should hold the most accountable? And this is going to be fun. So Lisa Vanderpump, I think you're an asshole. Why are you getting upset about that? And it's like, no, you know what you're doing. And for Heather, she was like, well, I thought that this was this very therapeutic way of going about it, this burn thing. And Whitney doubling down on, I didn't think that, this baseless rumor, like, I could have said that you're an asshole and you're all of these things, but I thought it made more sense to me to tell you the rumor about you and your husband hooking up with another woman and that. And I'm like, no, Whitney, I have had many conversations with her on the phone, many conversations in person, many conversations over messages. She's very smart. I mean, I know that she talks to you like this. She's actually incredibly intelligent, despite what some people say about her. And I'm seeing the comments. She's a very, very smart woman. She's gorgeous. She's all of the things. But like, you knew what that was going to do. You tried to do it when you walked away with the tag on your back, pretending like she doesn't pay for her clothes. That one didn't land. You kind of got a reaction, but it wasn't the big reaction. And on the same trip, the next night you chose to use, or that same night, you chose to use this rumor. You knew what you were doing. Now we're playing stupid.
Right. I hate playing stupid, especially when you're not. I
Yeah.
can't stand when smart people act dumb. And I have to say, Care Bears, I'm calling you out again because this is so true. Rather than Angie going to console Brittany after she left, why wasn't it Heather? Isn't it Heather's friend? But that makes me think, and Care Bears, great point. But Heather was the one who was so affected by reality Von Teese and has all this trauma. And she's the one who is always the one on the forefront of saying how negatively reality Von Teese affected her. Well, and this is something that's been driving me crazy. According to Dana Wilkie, $25,000 sunglasses, she said that Heather has been feeding her blog information via Patreon, which is behind a paywall, but has been feeding her information about Salt Lake City for years. And that just drives me insane. Like the hypocrisy of you saying how affected you are, but if you're going and then planting information, like how does that make you any different?
Well, I think what makes her different, what makes Heather Gay different, is I think that Heather Gay is highly celebrated by Bravo and NBC. I think she's celebrated by the network. I think that she is very protected. And I think that gives her a certain level of confidence to be able to do and say whatever she wants. But the thing is Dorinda said this recently, Dorinda Medley on Radio Andy, or an interview with Two T's in a Pod something. She was like, what goes up must come down, and that time will come. And when it does, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch, and I'm definitely gonna dissect all of it because I'm curious. It's going to come for Heather Gay. It might not be next season or whatever, but eventually it will come, because there are way too many moments already that have added up with you lying about the black eye, blaming production, also getting caught being behind the paywall. So many things that it's like, why does nobody hold you accountable? If anything, she gets to be a victim, because then you have Mary Cosby who comes in and instead of actually honing in on the things that matter that she's done, you attack something that is irrelevant and actually really disgusting by saying like, oh, well, I think she looks inbred. And it's like, well, one, that's a terrible thing to say to somebody. And two, that's your personal opinion. That's a disgusting opinion. And that shouldn't even be what you're addressing right now. You should be addressing her behavior and her flaws, not the way she looks. Because if you did that, then we would have had a real conversation. That's not what we got. We got a meme, not a conversation. You know?
You're absolutely right. Preach, my man.
I mean, So is there anything else as far as like the notes and stuff that you wanted to get off your chest?
I'm just, because I was bothered by it. Again, Lisa not taking accountability. At the very, very end, Bronwyn called her out again. She said something about, and again, I don't remember exactly the context, but I remember what it was. Lisa was going to look for receipts on her phone about something with Bronwyn, and like it stopped. And then at the end, Bronwyn was like, but Lisa, you're still doing it. You said we're burning everything. Everything is burned, but you're still looking for receipts on me.
It's not burned.
No.
It's their way of saying, let's end this off on a high note. Like when Andy was telling Whitney and Lisa, okay, we're done.
Right.
Opa, Bezos, Opa,
right.
Bezos. And it's like, no, we're not done. We're tabling it because we want this extra drama for next season. I know already some of the things I feel that are going to happen next season. I think that Mary Cosby is going to have a very, very heavy season next season.
She's okay. I hope her family's okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot.
Okay.
And then as far as Whitney goes, I'm curious to see if Lisa Barlow and them come back with something. And like, you know how like when it's up here and you kind of feel like you can map it out like a producer? I'm not always right though. Sometimes I am. Like I was like,
You're
Maylee
not?
Workman. Maylee Workman. I was like, she's not coming back. Rebecca Minkoff, she's not coming back. But I also have been wrong because I didn't think Brittany Bateman would be coming back, and now she's grown on me. So,
And it looks like they're going to be putting her on Salt Lake or sold on SLC. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a crossover because she works for that agency now. And she and the cast are like very chummy. She and Jennifer were like filming a video together.
yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to call this out just about Heather and the hierarchy of how she's like on a different playing field than the rest of her cast members. So she had such a small part this season, which made sense. It just wasn't a season that she had a lot going on, which is fine. But then they gave her that big scene at the dinner with the Russian roulette of the cell phone. And then last night she got to do the big closer. Like she did the whole like big cheers. We're all going to go ahead and we're going to do this. And she just had one of those big blanket statements again. And it was like, wow, she really is like the anchor, so to say, of this franchise. And Lisa really thinks it's her. I would say it's Heather. I'm not saying that's my opinion. That's how production makes it look.
It's definitely, it literally solidifies what I already know about her getting the spinoff. They are making her, she gets the good edit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She gets the good edit.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very generous in giving her that last segment at the end. But I did love how Mary at the end, it was supposed to be Meredith who gave Mary the compliment. And Mary's like, no, I want you to do it, Andy. Like, go off, queen. You deserve that. Daddy deserves to give you the compliment. But Meredith looked so bothered, but I hope she wasn't. But Meredith looked so bothered, but could it just be like camera editing going to Meredith to make it look like she was bothered? Was it editing, like messing with us? Probably, yeah.
You know, if I could, before we like end up signing off on this, I feel like if I could see anybody actually pick up and walk away from this, I think it would be, I mean, even though we've seen Mary already do it, I think it would be Meredith. I think you can kind of see on Meredith's face, she's like, what am I doing here?
I don't think well, first of all, she has a business that was established way before this show. She can go right back and do what she does. Her husband's busy and booked and they're fine. She does not need this. I don't think her ego needs this like other people's egos do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I think that she's kind of like, you can see it. And I don't mean this in like a negative way. It just seemed like on the reunion, I don't think during the season, I don't think she was checked out. On the reunion, it kind of seemed like, I'm good on you guys. What am I doing here? I want to be done with this reunion. I'm done with filming today. I want to go to dinner with my husband. I'm done. And that's what it read like.
I think she's a great reality personality who does not like living the reality TV personality life. And that's okay. If she never came back, she was a great housewife. I don't think she necessarily, and this isn't a criticism, I don't think I would handle it well either. I think she really, really struggles with what people say about her. We've seen her freak out when people talk about her son, and her son's about to have his own whole ass TV show. Like, is she going to be okay? And I'm not saying that's shady. Like, this stuff bothers her, and I want her to be well.
You know, to piggyback off of that, my dad's twin, his daughter wants to start a TikTok, and she has this great idea of things that she wants to do. And he was asking me, and I said, the only thing that I can encourage her to do, because we are still of the same genetic makeup, is be very aware in the comments that these are people who don't know you personally, and they can be really mean, you know, so mean. So like, just sometimes like that's the only thing. And I think you either are built for it or you're not. I don't know how Brooks is personally. I think that he's definitely about to get his fair share. I think for Gia, I don't worry about her. Like, that girl has been through the ringer. Like, she's
already been through it.
Yeah, she's seen, heard everything. And so has Kim Zolciak's daughter, like everything.
Right.
But I do think that I'm like, that is something that like, it's going to happen. And people, while some people are just like making you feel amazing about yourself, there's going to be so many people who just want you to fail, and they're going to call you every name in the book and make you insecure about every single thing that they can pick out about you, because people can be awful.
Right. Well, I think yes. And I think that Meredith is great television and she could actually hold her own show. I would love to see what her life looks like. And if a show followed her and she had more say in what the edit looks like and what the storyboard for it is going to be. If she had that's why Denise's new show, Denise Richards, she had a reality show before and it was all about her and her family. And it was like her driving the narrative. So it worked. Meredith Marks, I think, is great TV and it would make a great TV show. I think she would do a great job with a show on her own. But I think she would have a lot more control and not have to interact with the other ladies. Therefore, it would be her narrative. And I think she would shine.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
that,
I think
Meredith.
she's great, but I don't know if this is for her because, and that's not mean. Like, it's not for me. I mean, honestly, you couldn't pay me enough money to do a show like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know. I speak about this with my therapist. Like, it would not be good. Not that I'm like offering myself that, but like, I'm not delusional, but like those things are not good for me. I stay out of the comments. Like, this is something that has affected me and I'm dealing with. So I know that's not for me. I'm a Meredith.
Yeah.
Thing.
No,
I'm not going to speak for her.
All right. Well, with that, guys, we are done. It is a wrap on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm so grateful for this chapter close. We are turning the page until next season. We got through it. I'm happy I stuck to my guns of not dropping things until we got through the season. I'm really, really actually proud of that because I'm not going to lie, guys. There were some moments where I did not feel great about
you would have looked so bad if you released anything. Like, honestly, it would have looked so bad.
It would have looked so bad. And
thirsty, like all of it would have looked bad. If you needed to, you had it. But no, like.
But I want to thank like you and like my friend Lori and, like Leva and my husband and other people. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting a Grammy right now, but I'm not. I just want to think like I did have a lot, even Monica, like a lot of people that I was able to have conversations with throughout that really kept it balanced for me and gave me a different perspective when sometimes it felt like, what am I have to say something. I have to do something.
Out of emotion and you're allowed to have your emotions, but you got to take a step back sometimes.
It's like I could have easily Jen Aiden myself at the Jersey Mike's.
No more Jersey Mike's, you guys. We need to do better.
We did not. But
we did not.
With
and
that,
you're a reliable source. Like, you prove that you're not going to get messy.
Yeah.
That's important to me.
Also, too, like, I mean, I told you last night, like at the end of it, I sent a text message to Whitney. Whitney has the text message. I can see that it's been read. I think that that's it. And I think that that was a great way to end off. We don't have to be best friends. We're definitely going to see each other in different places. It's going to happen. It just happened in December, like it's bound to happen.
It will happen again at BravoCon, I'm sure. Like, paths cross, if not before.
Exactly. And no, I'm actually really happy about the message that I sent. And I think that, like, it's like, okay, we're good. We're done. Let's put this behind. It is not the end of the world. There are so many people who are dealing with real problems. And this is just bullshit entertainment that keeps us happy because we get to escape from the real problems in our own lives. So a lot was said, a lot was done, and congratulations to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for another incredible season. And by the way, look at these comments in the live discussions.
So can I just take a quick second, because I don't think I've been necessarily clear about how live discussions work. Will you click on the comments in there, please?
Which one? This one?
Any of them. Okay. So Imani and I are not like active, like faces, like hosting anything. Like, we're not like actually like talking to a camera and like watching things. We provide a space. Like, if you go on the website, it's kind of like a chat room for those of us from the 90s, the early internet days, Reddit threads almost. But it's almost like a comment section essentially. And as people watch, they type along. Imani and I watch a lot of times, and you'll see us in there, but we're not like physically hosting anything. We're giving people a space to go ahead and share their ideas in there while they're watching. So Imani and I do pop off and we do go in there, but we're also not like living in the comments, and we don't want to feel like your mom's like hanging out with you and your friends. Like you have your friends over. We don't want to feel like your mom who won't leave the room. We don't want to feel like Kyle Richards the other day who crashed her daughter's date. Like those daughters needed to sit and talk to each other and have those girls moment. And she's like, well, tell me what time I should be over because I want to come. Like we don't want to be that. We don't want to be your like annoying aunties, like, but we will pop in because we love it and we want to gossip too. So
Exactly.
yeah, I hope that makes sense.
No, that makes a ton of sense. And also, yeah, I mean, again, congratulations to Madison.
Love
and
this.
guys,
Imani and I love this for Madison.
I love it for Madison too. And congratulations to her and her husband and her amazing little son, Hudson. But
yeah, more men like Brett on Bravo, please and thank you. Like I'm so tired of these men children complaining and their privilege. Like I want a man like Brett. That man is smart. He is emotionally intelligent. He is kind. He is a giving person. That is what I am talking about.
Yeah, like, but no, like Southern charm.
But
But
I would almost start to do the do, but I don't want to sound like Brittany Bateman because she was doing her 007 thing, and I'm going to let her have her moment.
We'll leave that to her. And then if they don't know, will you let them know where they can find you on Instagram?
Instagram is taste_of_reality. This is where we do a lot of Bravo, all the stuff that you see on the page or on the website, but a lot more pop culture things thrown in there. So we love our Instagram family too. Thank you guys so much for following us. Unfortunately, I'm still not able to get on TikTok from my own phone. I've had to use my husband, so the Traders Live discussions have gone to crap. So sorry for that. I blame the TikTok ban going black because I just don't have access to TikTok unless my husband's asleep and I can steal his phone. So oh my gosh. Yeah. Our TikTok is done really well. We really appreciate you guys. We have a better handle now. It's taste_of_reality.
Let me see if I can't just find
So
that.
like you can actually look up Taste of Reality now and not like initials and it'll come up. I know you're not following us.
Taste of Reality.
And it should, yeah. So thank you. Thank you. But yeah, we've had some really big videos. Imani had like over 200,000 views on one of her videos recently. Like the people were popping off. So yeah, our TikTok community is amazing and we love them. And I can't wait to get TikTok back on my phone.
Well, on top of that, guys, too, I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys, especially in the live chat. And also Sherry Vandenberg, please, we emailed you, reach out to us because she was the lucky winner of our first A Rose Forever bouquet that we gave away. We have 2 more that we're giving away. And just in case you guys missed the beginning of this, I put the link inside of the description. If you guys want a chance to win in the month of Valentine's, if you guys want a chance to win, all you have to do is go to theblowcompany.com and you just literally make a purchase. Use code ROSE when you do. I'll show you guys right now. It takes 2 seconds. You click on it. We're like, okay, we're going to add to cart, and you just go to checkout. When you go to checkout, all you're going to do is type in the coupon ROSE right here. You apply it, and boom, you get your 20% off. And then we can see on the back end exactly who's doing that. And when we do, it's going to be easy for us to pick a winner. But we love you guys. We appreciate you. Smash the like button, show some love, get subscribed, and make sure to keep an eye on tasteofreality.com for the live discussions. Thank you, Ashley.
Bye, babes.
Bye,
Bye, friends. Have a good one.